Gentlemen, it is such a thrill for moi to be here with my frog as host and hostess of these Emmy Awards.
No, Miss Piggy. They just want us to read the rules.
You are putting me on.
No, that's it.
Are you out of your mind?
How can you give out awards unless people know how they were nominated in the first place?
Who cares?
The rules.
Yeah, brother.
All nominations for Emmy Awards were made by members of the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, and some members of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences voting in their specialization.
Boring.
Now, come on, let's go, Miss Piggy.
No.
But we're finished.
I'm not.
But they got a whole show to do here.
I don't care.
But Piggy.
I am not leaving until I get a close-up. Give me a single, cut the frog. Okay, that's it.
I'm sorry about this, guys. Come on.
Will you get your flippers off my hips?
Well, come on. Come on, just move the pork.
Move this!
Moving right along. Footloose and fancy free. You ready for the big time? Is it ready for me?
The enormous impact of his work, he would just think that he presented the world with real life. He never had a tainted view on life. And he presented a very honest and joyful appreciation for life. And I don't think that he would think that that was his invention. And it wasn't really. And that's what life is.
I'm sure Jim didn't think in terms of boundaries at all the way the rest of us do. I mean, we can't do that because, we can't do this because, and we couldn't go there because, there are always these fences that we build around ourselves and our ideas. Jim seemed to have no fences.
He convened a group of 20 or so people in London. And Jim actually said at that meeting, as Jim could do, let's do a children's show that brings peace to the world. He actually said that. And we, who had been around him for a long time, took it at face value and said, oh, all right, well, sure, you know. Cantus was the traveling musician and kind of guru of Fraggle Rock.
Music grows in the rose, rock and rain and the blowing snowstorm. Everything seems to sing everywhere I go.
He talked in wonderfully enigmatic riddles that were really very wise. Jim played that character with such commitment and belief.
Let me be your song. Yeah.
Fraggle Rock became a sort of environmental metaphor show in which different species lived, sometimes in harmony and sometimes in disharmony. Species that were interdependent on each other, but without fully realizing how interdependent.
I say 1, 2, play me do, let me sound as sweet as you. Play me wide, play me long, let me be your song.
But I think what he was probably most known for was the silly and fun and clean and innocent and childlike, naive and pure. That's not all Jim was.
I think having started with the simplicity of the Muppets and the utter simple charm, even in terms of color and harmonies and language, everything was simple and beautiful. The size of it was right. It was Jim. But I think in him, and obviously it's so, I mean, by the films that he produced, that there was a darker, cavernous place he was busting to get to.
Jim was really intrigued by the work of the British illustrator Brian Froud, and he wanted to translate Froud's visual ideas to 3 dimensions, which became the basis for the film The Dark Crystal. He wanted to go off and push that envelope, and whether it's successful or not, he just wanted to do it.
I wanted to create the world first. I wanted to start with a visual world of what these characters looked like and what the whole place was. Plants, trees, rocks, all of that, and then have the story grow.
Like all coming-of-age stories, The Dark Crystal gives the young hero a task much greater than he thinks he's capable of. It's the test he must face, not just to find his way in the world, but to find himself.
Master? What's wrong?
You are in danger. The Skeksis will vow to destroy you. For the prophecy says you must find the shard. The crystal shard.
The crystal shard?
To save our world.
But Master, I'm only a gelfling.
I should have told you these things long ago. Now it is up to you.
Master.
I remember going to a screening in Universal with the executives for the first time, showing them Dark Crystal. And the movie went on for an hour and a half, whatever it took. And the movie went off. It was dead silence. The executives walked out the room, didn't say a thing to Jim or me. And he really felt lousy then. They just stood up and walked out. Not a word was spoken after 2-3 years in this movie.
Because all artists are pigeonholed. Everybody, whatever they do for a living, they're pigeonholed. You're a TV guy, you're a book illustrator, or you're a painter. You're a musician, you're a dancer. And it should be a dancer who is a painter. Ay, mamma mia, what are you going to do with this person? He agreed with me about the frustration of being pigeonholed in that way. And although Jim was kinder and gentler than me, hurt him very much. He could have stayed with this stuff forever. But that he struggled, and he was honest in his struggle. He never